We're going to talk a little bit about drone rules today, and I think there might be a little bit of heated discussion in the comment section, but we'll have to see. Now, there's a difference between knowing the rules and following the rules without fail. Now, I'm going to clarify that here in just a bit, but first, I have a little story for you. Hey, welcome back everyone. Nice to have you here again. If this is your first time on the channel, my name is Russ and I want to thank you for stopping by. So as you can see, I'm changing up my backdrop a little bit. I'm actually rearranging my whole studio. So this isn't the final setup, at least I don't think it is. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do, but I know I wanted to do something different because I've been doing the same thing for so long. So let me know what you think. But anyway, I have some exciting news too that I want to tell you, so stick around for that. I'll tell you that at the very end of this video. So on to my story. So I have this friend, I don't want to say his name just in case he watches this, but let's call him Blavid, okay? And Blavid has a Mavic Air 2 that he flies quite often. He travels a lot for work and he always takes his drone with him. Now, Blavid doesn't usually watch my videos and I'll tell you why here in just a minute. But the other day we were discussing my YouTube channel and how it was going, and I was telling him how I'm going to try to really encourage my viewers this year to get their Part 107. And he says, why is that? And I explained to him that I want to encourage as many people as possible to learn about the rules, and then hopefully some of them also will use their Part 107 to start earning money, some money on the side, like a side hustle or whatever. Like have fun flying your drones and capturing aerial imagery, photos and stuff like that, and sharing it on your social media and with your family and friends, but also possibly earn some revenue from it. And he says, well, you do realize that hardly anyone cares about having their 107, right? He said, I can think of at least 10 realtors in this town that post aerial photos and videos on their listings, and I guarantee you that none of them even know what a Part 107 is. And I said, I know that. And that's what I'm trying to change. And he said he also knows some ranchers that use their drones to check their cows on a regular basis, which technically falls under using a drone for commercial purposes. So those people also would require their 107. But you know, most ranchers aren't going to run out and get their 107. He said, think of it this way. Do you always drive the speed limit? And I said, well, of course not. Nobody does. But I also don't drive like a maniac. I drive the same speed as everyone else is going at the time wherever I am. And he's like, exactly. As long as someone isn't weaving in and out of traffic, being an asshole, nobody's gonna notice that most people are technically breaking the law. He says if everyone's driving 5 miles over the speed limit, a patrolman isn't gonna stop anyone. And it's the same thing for drones. Unless you're bringing attention to yourself, there's really no reason for the FAA to notice you or for someone to make them notice you. And I said, yes, I do agree. But at the same time, don't you have a driver's license? Like, you wouldn't drive without a driver's license, right? And he's like, yeah, good point. I get it. And I told him, even though most people bend or even consistently break the rules when flying a drone, I still feel like I have a responsibility to teach people what the rules are. I can't make people fly within visual line of sight all the time, and I can't make them register their drone, just like I can't make people drive the speed limit. Now, this year, my son's going to start driving, which is terrifying. But do you think I'm going to say, hey, go ahead and do what you want, son, because everyone breaks the law anyway, so just go out and drive and have fun? No, I'm going to teach him, I'm going to do my best anyway, to teach him the rules of the road. And if I didn't, he would probably wreck the vehicle or, God forbid, probably hurt someone. And the same thing goes for drones. I think, personally, when people get a drone, they do have a little bit of responsibility to at least learn the rules and then follow them the best that they can. And yes, you're going to fly your drone beyond visual line of sight. Everyone does it. We all know it. So don't pretend that you always keep your drone in visual line of sight. Don't you think people should know that they need a Part 107 to make money with a drone? What they do after they get that information is totally up to them. But if I can prevent even one incident or save someone from getting a fine by teaching the rules, then it's worth it. And that's what I told Blavid, and he agreed with everything that I said. And then he says, I'm still not going to watch your videos. And I'm like, why not? Why don't you ever watch my videos? And he said, because every time that I do a video on a new drone, he wants to upgrade, and he's totally happy with his Mavic Air 2 and he wants to keep it that way. But he's still a subscriber, so I guess that's something. Look, I know all of you watching this that have a drone have gone outside the rules at some time. Many of you fly however you want with no regard for the rules. I don't condone that, but I also don't want to come off as preaching, saying that I'm better than you because I follow the rules. Because guess what? Sometimes I break the rules as well. My primary goal here with this channel and with any information that I put out on drone rules is to let people know what the restrictions are to help them fly safely as much as possible. Flying a drone, especially for beginners, can be pretty stressful, and knowing what the boundaries are can help alleviate some of that stress. So I hope that when you see a drone rules video from me that you don't think, oh, here we go again, this guy telling me I'm doing things wrong. I hope you think it's so great that Russ is trying to educate new pilots on how to fly safely and responsibly. I'm still gonna fly however I want, but good for him for teaching people the right way. So going back to encouraging you guys to get your Part 107 this year, or if you live in another country, I hope you consider getting whatever the equivalent of the Part 107 is, and here's why. First of all, you'll have a better understanding of airspace and what goes on in the world of manned aircraft. I think that's so valuable. Like, most of us aren't gonna go on to be a manned aircraft pilot, but just to know what's happening in the sky when you have something up in the sky is really, really important. And secondly, you have the opportunity to earn money with a drone. Now, what are the ways to have a side hustle with a drone? I'll tell you how you can learn them in a second here, but the last and I think the most important reason to get your Part 107 is because you will significantly minimize the negative interactions with the public and with law enforcement officials should you ever have to engage them. Let's say you're out flying your drone and a police officer or a sheriff's deputy drives up and he says, "What are you doing here, son?" And you say, "Well, officer, I'm an FAA certified UAV pilot and I'm..." "Say no more, son. Go about your business. Have a nice day." It's true, you guys. If people believe that you have taken the time to learn the rules and become more professional, they won't bother you as often. And I know some of you are going to say, you know what? Law enforcement officials don't know what Part 107 is, and they're not really going to care. But you know what? They do. They are starting to learn about drone rules in police stations, in sheriff's offices, park rangers, highway patrolmen. They're all starting to learn about the rules of drones, and most of them are pretty familiar now with what a Part 107 is, because I think people are having more interactions with people flying their drones, and they're starting to understand it. So what's the best way for you to study for your Part 107? I will say this, what's best for one person may not be the best for someone else. First of all, there's a ton of free information available on the internet. All you have to do is a quick Google search or a YouTube search, and you can find some pretty valuable stuff out there. But the problem with those is that they can be very disorganized and outdated, but still free. So that's pretty cool. The other option is you could sign up for a study course. There are really only 2 good ones out there. Now, I chose to use Drone Pilot Ground School because I like the structure and the way that it was organized, and they have a money back guarantee. So if you fail your test, they're going to give you your money back. So that's pretty cool. And it worked really well for me because I needed that organization. Now, what's my big announcement that I told you about at the beginning of the video? Well, I've decided to finally start a 51 Drones channel membership. Now, you may have heard of memberships before. It's where you can get special access to extra content right here on the channel. You pay a small monthly membership fee, which gives you access to things that you wouldn't normally get as a regular subscriber. And one thing that I plan to do for my members is teach them some of the many ways that they can earn money with a drone. And I'll also teach members how to pass their Part 107. Now, I'm still going to provide some of that information on my regular videos, of course, but the members are going to have access to more detailed instruction. Also, I plan to offer members only live streams and post some behind the scenes content and things like that. I know some people have been interested in doing consultations, like having a conversation, like a Skype interview or whatever, to help them out with their drones. I might add that in the future. I'm not going to do that right now, but let me know if you're interested in something like that. But if you want to become a member, I'll put a link right down in the video description, right at the top of the video description. You can't miss it. I've been thinking about this for a long time. You know, right now I use Patreon, but I don't give Patreon the attention that it deserves. So I'm going to invite any of you who are a patron right now on my Patreon page to come on over to channel memberships here on YouTube, because I think by doing something extra and some bonus content right on the platform, that's more people are going to do that and they're going to appreciate that. And it's easier for me as well. It's just much more efficient than me having to post in so many different places. And so for those of you on Patreon, thank you so much. You've really helped support the channel, but I think this is going to be a better way to grow the community and for you guys to get more targeted content. So, but anyway, hey, comment on this video and let me know what you think about following drone rules? Do you think they should be followed without fail 100% of the time? Or is it okay to bend them just a little bit once in a while? Click that like button if you enjoyed the video today. I want you to have a great day, everyone. And as always, fly safe and fly smart.